The more you dig into the music industry, the more you understand that copyright is a very important thing that can protect you or hurt you if you're not paying attention to it properly. That is what we talk about today. I'm Alan Spicer, and this is a tutorial from Open Mic UK on artist development. No doubt you've seen it in the press many times that someone's written a song that kind of sounds like something else and they're suing each other, or they're worried about copyright and people stealing other people's work. People sample tracks and put it in and it's catchy, whether it's Eminem or whether it's Aerosmith or whether it's Blurred Lines, whether Ed Sheeran hops in with a little trick or whether he directly borrows elements of a tune in which he either licenses or he tries to not mention that it's kind of too close. Copyright could be a thing that saves you when you put in all that time and all of your effort to write that song and write that album, and then somebody's using that music for free or flat out ripping it off and claiming it is theirs. Or it can land you in a hot mess if you've just got it a little bit wrong. So we're going to dive into copyright. Copyright is a wider part of UK law, protecting creators from unfair exploitation of their work, their time, their effort. It allows you to make money out of your music because it then identifies that it's yours and you have intellectual property rights to it, whether to sell it or rent it out or to stream it, and then you can split it into different types of rights. We've talked about rights up here in a card in a video. Now, copyright first emerged when music was basically in tangible form, something you could touch, a tape, a CD, an LP, but the rules still apply. You either need to perform it and pay the royalties through the copyright, or you need to distribute it through mechanical royalties. Under UK law, music falls under the Copyright Design and Patents Act of 1988. It states that copyright is a property right and is attributed to original literacy, dramatic, musical or artist works. It also covers sound recordings, films or broadcasts. Most importantly, the owners of the copyright have exclusive rights to copy this content and issuing copies of this content to other people in licensing and law and recreation and covers. So how do you copyright your song? Well, don't worry. And this is the best thing, once it is tangible, it's automatic. Either written or recorded down, at that point you've then got proof that is yours, that is your creation. However, it doesn't mean you'll immediately start earning royalties. You'll need to join collection societies that then register that that is yours and agree that that is your original work, and at that point they can start hunting down and identifying you and your content. And most importantly, you can start capitalizing on your copyright. If you want to know how to copyright your music, here's a few things that you need to start with. Write down your song lyrics. Write down your song and the melody. Record a demo and a music video. Upload a copy of your recording privately to SoundCloud or YouTube or anywhere that you so wish, and then register with a collection society. That way you've got everything in place, you can point to your works, and they have something to consider. Now, how long does copyright exist for on music? It's one of those things that you've heard so many times that after so many years it kind of lapses, or you start to see it being licensed out in adverts because people are trying to extend their copyright or earn more before it dies. Now, typically the copyright lasts for 70 years after the artist dies, or 70 years after the composition is created if they don't know when the artist died, in the case of, classical music and stuff. Now, this is applicable to the song and the songwriter, but not to the ownership of the masters of the recordings. Masters are valid for 50 years after creation. However, once the work is released, it's then 70 years after the release date. So, let's say the masters of, say, some Michael Jackson stuff or Beatles stuff was made 48 years ago, and they've been sat on it, and then they released it today. It's now got 70 years to live by the copyright owner again. Possibly why you see some old material released every now and then, so people can't kind of jump on it, or they go back and they do the B-sides, or they did the Led Zeppelin kind of recording sessions, that kind of thing. And also why you'll notice that some albums from back in the day are remastered and re-released again, so to push albums forward again for another 70 years. It's kind of why Disney does it with their films. It's why they're remaking them now. Now in the UK, the collection society that you need to be focusing on is the PRS, the Performing Rights Society. They are responsible for collecting all of the revenue generated from music within the UK, including public performances or where you've sold it in CDs and they're being played in that shopping centre down the road. Once you sign up to PRS, they do a lot of the legwork for you, collecting your royalties from venues and radio stations, etc. If you keep your publishing rights, PRS will pay you directly, or if you've signed away your publishing rights to, say, a record label, then you will get a slice of whatever your contract with that record label says. Now, the MCPS is much more the physical content, the Mechanical Copy Protection Society, CDs, tapes, LPs. If you join the PRS, then you're also part of this one as well, and it kind of marries the two together. So one will collect digital in your airplay and your public, and the other one will collect your physical. Whilst the PPL will pay the master owner, so the person that owns the right to the master recordings, once again, whether it's a recording label or whether you own them yourself. They are the Phonographic Performance Limited. Lots of lists. The PPL, the PRS, the MCPL, it can get a bit confusing. So don't worry, there's links to a blog post down below that explains it for you in further detail. Now, for more details on royalties, I've done a video here. I've deep dived into every full detail. If you need help with your career development or other artist tutorials, we've got a playlist here. Remember to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you soon.